Hello everyone, how's it going tonight? It's Elizabeth Angeline coming at you live from Heaven the Spa on the Rock. I'm here to show you how to remove your gel nails professionally. We have officially been closed for 2 weeks, so anyone whose manicure I did in the last 3 weeks is probably desperate for removal, myself included. So I thought I would do a video tonight to show you how to do it professionally so you have no damage on your beautiful nails afterwards and they're ready for me when we reopen. So what we're doing here also is I'm going to show you how I'm going to remove one hand of my own in a couple professional tips and tricks for gel polish removal. And then I'm going to put together 4 gel removal polish kits for you. Anyone who's local to YYJ can come to the spa and buy one of those from my drop-off situation. So I will have those ready. If you guys need them, please raise your hand. If you need a gel removal kit, it'll be a first come, first served basis, and they'll be $15 with a total everything that you need in the kit. So I will show that to you a bit later on, but today we're going to get started on how to remove your gel nails professionally. Let me know that you're here watching, and let me know with a heart button if you are desperate to remove your gel polish also, because I know that I am. So you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need, which is one of the biggest problems I think with your at-home gel removal, is you're going to need the heavy hitter. You're going to need the acetone polish remover to get rid of it, which is not your run-of-the-mill standard over-the-counter drugstore stuff. So what I've done is I've put a very serious acetone polish remover into 4 little bottles, and the fun part is that you also get to see what I've had for dinner, because these are recycled bottles from my Good Food basket that I get delivered to my house. So this one is sesame oil, stir-fry sauce. I might lose this one actually, tomato paste, because it's smaller. And if you get a kit with one of these in it, this is going to be half full because this is way too much for your 10-day nail polish. So what we're going to need, like I said, is acetone. Let me know that you're here with me live. It's nice to see you. You're going to need a nail file, so we're going to put that inside your kit as well. And you're going to need these fancy little gel polish removers. So they've got cotton on one side, in which we're going to add the acetone to that part of it. You can use at-home foil when you don't have this kit, but this kit will be ready for you at the spa. So remember to raise your hand if you'd like one of these when I make it up for you. So the first things first that I always like to do before I remove my gel polish is I like to cut down the edges of the hand that I'm working on, because ideally your nail technician has created a seal at the edge which is supposed to be impenetrable to other things, so you want to break that seal also. So that seal would be just at the free edge. So basically just clip the nails and file them to shape if you want to. Then you can kind of see, I wonder if I can get you can see the well at the top there that my nail has grown out. And so this is a nude gel polish. It would be super camera effective if it was a bright red polish. But what we're trying to do with your fresh nail file is take the shine off of the polished section of your nail. So try not to buff the healthy section of your nail, your new section, but you want to get rid of that shine. So what we're essentially doing is breaking the top coat, the sealant. So we're removing the sealant. So we're going to do that real quick over all of the nails. And then within your kit, if you'd like one, or you can make one, of course, at home, you're going to soak each of the 10 cotton pads with the foil, and you're going to wrap the fingers up. Now, what I like to do when I do that is use a lot of acetone so that the cotton is really saturated. I have found over the years, if it's kind of like stingy with the acetone, then it will take much longer. And if you don't do this filing part thoroughly, it will take that much longer as well. So if you want to cut corners and you want to get this done faster with some pro tips, the best tip that I can give you is to just take a little bit of time and do this part more seriously. And again, your technician for nails, she sometimes will cap the edges. So just go thoroughly up to the edge, but make sure that you don't buff any of your healthy nail at the top. The whole part of doing this professionally is so that we don't damage the growing layers of your healthy nail. And so when we do intense filing, we have to be very careful not to include the beautiful healthy nail. So that's all done there. Now my polish remover is purple, but yours is going to be clear because I'm mixing you up a concoction with a little bit more acetone in it. And now one of the things that when you're doing your own, you can usually only do one hand at a time. So I always start wrapping my pinky finger forward. I sometimes am a little ambidextrous, so you might want to do your left hand. So you guys can kind of see it's dripping with liquid. So I'm not being stingy with it. The whole pad is saturated. And the way that I wrap it, I should show you as well, is very tightly. I wrap it like a burrito, and then I put pressure on the nail, dripping, by squeezing it really tightly. So when you cut it, how can I give you a reference? It's about half of a bill size. You don't need them to be very big. If you have them too big, they're really tricky to stay on. So if you were to have a $20 bill, it would be about that big. So about half of that. And then I usually, if I'm using cotton rounds, I will cut that into quarters. So this is stuck on here. It doesn't have to be stuck on there. So if you need to cut that into quarters, and that, you know, from your aluminum. And then what I like to do is use that side, oh sorry, these aluminum pieces for the other side. So you don't need to use 10. If you don't want to use all 10 that are in the kit, if you are going to come and get a kit, let me know, raise your hand. But if you don't want to use all 10, you only really need to make 5, because you can only use one hand at a time. Unless you can use all 10, then make 10. But ideally you want to cut your squares. If you're not getting one of our pre-made kits, you want to cut your squares and your foil, all of the ones that you think you might need, ahead of time, so that you don't have to do that while your fingers are wrapped up in half. And just before we're about to finish, because this is fairly simple and I'm sure you've all seen the tail end of this, is one of the greatest tips and tricks that I have ever come across for speeding this whole process up, is to keep these aluminum fingertips warm. So one day I was doing this at home and I was just cold. I just had cold fingertips. So I sat on my fingers and I had a really dark color on and a really strong pigment. It usually will take a little bit longer. But that particular time it was so fast. So the tip for my favorite, fastest way to remove gel polish is to keep your fingertips warm. So if you can do your own gel and you have a light, you could stick this whole hand right into the gel and warm up. You'll feel how warm it gets. The chemicals in that heat will speed up the degradation and the breakdown of the gel that we're trying to remove. So if you don't have a gel kit of your own, then I usually just stick my hand under my butt and I warm that hand up. So like I said, I'm going to make little kits. They're going to be available for $15 here at the spa. I will put in 10 of these so that you'll be able to use it twice, ideally, if we ever get to put polish back on. There'll be a polish remover inside and a fresh little nail file for you in there too. When I'm done removing all of the gel product, if you leave it for enough time, you won't have to do any scraping, you won't have to do any like jamming of it to get it off. You will need a tool, so I'll include one of those in there too. The tool, you'll be able to see the polish will be all frilled and peeling off, and ideally not stuck to your nail at all any longer. And then you just gently remove anything that you can with a little wooden stick, which I'll put in the kit. And then my very favorite thing to do at the end is use this very delicate, very fine little buffer, which I'll put in the kit as well for you. And the buffer will take off any particular, especially the base coat, I find is difficult for you to see. So if you want to remove the base coat and get rid of all of that artificial gel from your natural nail, then you would go ahead and use your gentle buffer. And then any kind of beautiful nail hydration that you have. So it could be a nail oil, it could be a body oil, it could be a face oil if you don't have anything, or a hair oil even. But something like that to nourish the nail. If you are going to put a strengthener on top of your new fresh nails, you would wait to put the oil on after, because if you put oil on a nail before you polish it, the polish just won't adhere. So if you want to give them a break in between, I do not believe that gel polish ruins your nails. I in fact have for years worn it consistently and have very strong, healthy nails. What I believe is it's the scraping and the peeling of the product off that will definitely remove a top layer with it, and it will break down the strength of your beautiful natural nail if you peel it away. You'll think of your nail a bit like an onion. So every time you peel that layer off with the top coat, if you're not removing it properly, then it does get weaker and weaker and weaker, and they will be prone to breakage. So I hope that you can use this video again and again and use the kit that we've made for you. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Also, one quick thing, when you guys are sitting, this has happened to me before, if you are sitting on your fingers that are wet, they do get quite warm because the acetone in there has a chemical reaction to heat. So that's quite normal. Don't feel alarmed by that. And that is the process that we're working with to try and speed it up. then I recommend that you do removal in the same way that you did your application. So you'll remove the first finger that you did apply it to. And normally in the 60 seconds that we've been chatting, this would not do that, but because we had it heated up, it will start to break down faster. So this is not finished yet, but I just want to show you before I let you go how easy that should slough off. I'm doing that with my left hand with no pressure. That should just come right off. So it's not ready. We'll have to put that back on. If you need to, you can always squirt more acetone down in there, but the easier it is just to pop it back on. Stick it back into your butt to keep it warm. And one of the other things, if you have a lot of acetone on your cotton, when you sit on it, it might feel like you've got a little bit on your clothes. So don't do this when you're wearing your fancy clothes. Make sure you're wearing your jammies like I am below the table. There's jammies and socks down there. Put my lipstick and my smock on the top. This is isolation FaceTime, baby. That's what this is. So I'm going to have these kits ready for you guys outside the spa. They'll be $15. It's an honor system. They'll be in the mailbox because we're not getting mail delivered tonight. If you would like one, it is Sunday evening. I shall leave whatever is in there until next week. So if you want to come and get it, I'll be in the spa tomorrow as well. If we run out of these kits and you would like me to make you some more, I will do my best. I just really had this idea because I had 4 of these little bottles, which I'm happy to use today because they're recyclable. Otherwise, we used to make these kits when there were smaller acetone bottles to sell, but they don't make those anymore. So these are literally the best that I could find. So again, this has got my food on it. This is acetone polish remover in the kits. It'll come like this, and I'll make sure to put a card in there too. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. But like I said, if you don't get one of these kits and you see this video later on, let me know from the spa and I can try and piece this together for you. I happen to have another box being delivered on Monday, so ideally, a whole bunch more of those little guys. So let's take another quick look. Oh yeah, look at that guy. So that guy, he is ready to party. And again, this has just been about 2 to 3 minutes, but because it's been heated up, this is about a 10 to a 15-minute process. I'm just using the back of my nail now. And this also is a clear color. So if you were to have a darker color, or perhaps even some colors like neons, people will layer them on like 3 and 4 layers. And you know, it takes a while to get that stuff off. I also find like sparkles take a while to get off. So that's my clean, healthy nail, ready to go. And what I'm going to do is gently buff it, finish these ones off, and then put some oil. So thank you for watching. Let me know you enjoyed the video. It's great to see you here. And I'll put 4 kits. They're $15 each. You guys have a great evening. Bye.